Unit 4, phase controlled converters. We can also call it as phase controlled rectifiers. Before proceeding further, let us have a look on what is the meaning of rectification. So rectification is a process of converting an alternating current or voltage into a direct current or voltage. So if you look at this diagram, so this is the input given to the rectifier. Input is a sinusoidal and output is a pulsating DC. The red line indicates the RMS value of the pure DC. So here in the input, the, the waveform is of sinusoidal. It has both positive half cycles and it has negative half cycles. But as it is half wave rectifier and that too positive only, then we have the output during the positive inputs only. So if you look at this diagram, when the input is positive, we will get the output. When the input is positive, we will get the output, and so on and so forth. In the second diagram, if you have a close look, it is half wave negative rectification. So we will obtain the output during the negative half cycles only. This conversion can be achieved by a variety of circuit based on and using switching device. The widely used switching devices are diodes, thyristors, power transistors, power MOSFETs, etc. The rectifier circuits can be classified broadly into three classes: uncontrolled, fully controlled, and half controlled. What is the meaning of uncontrolled rectifier? An uncontrolled rectifier uses only diode and the DC output voltage is fixed in amplitude by the amplitude of the AC supply. In the fully controlled rectifier uses thyristor as the rectifying elements and the DC output voltage is a function of amplitude of AC supply voltage and the point on wave at which the thyristors are triggered. The point on wave at which the thyristors are triggered is called as the firing angle and it is denoted by alpha. Half controlled rectifiers. The half controlled rectifiers contains a mixture of diodes and thyristors, allowing a more limited control over the DC output voltage level than the fully controlled rectifiers. The half controlled rectifier is cheaper than a fully controlled rectifier of the same rating but has operational limitations. Uncontrolled and half controlled rectifiers will permit power to flow from the AC system to the DC load and are therefore referred as the unidirectional converters. Unidirectional means the current flows in only in one direction, that is DC. If we look at AC, the current is bidirectional. However, with a fully controlled rectifier, it is possible by control of the point on wave at which switching takes place to allow power to be transferred from a DC side of the rectifier back into the system. So when this occurs, the operation is said to be in the inverting mode. The fully controlled converter may be therefore referred as a bidirectional converter. Why bidirectional converter? Because we can obtain both positive as well as negative. Hence, it is possible for the phase controlled converters to provide either a one quadrant, two quadrant, or a four quadrant operation at its DC terminals. Now, the figure 4.1a shows diagrammatic representation of one quadrant converter which contains controlled and uncontrolled rectifiers in different circuit positions. So in this diagram, if you look at the rectification occurs if you look at this diagram. Why it is called as one quadrant converter? Because we will get the output in the first quadrant only. We will get only the positive. Both the current as well as the voltage will be the positive in nature. Hence it is called as one quadrant converter. With one quadrant converter, only one polarity of the voltage and current at the DC terminals is possible. Only one polarity. So in a two quadrant converter, as shown in figure B, it contains control rectifiers in all circuit positions. So we can have the rectifier mode as well as the inverter mode. So in the rectifier mode, if we operate it, we will get only positive voltage or current, and in the inverter mode, we will get the negative voltages. With the two quadrants, the power can be made flow either from AC to DC side of the converter or vice versa. So in the figure C, it is a diagrammatic representation of four quadrants converter, and it contains two quadrant converters connected back to back with one another, thus providing the facility for a bidirectional current flow through the load. So we can see in this diagram, it acts as a converter. In the first quadrant, we will have only the positive voltages. Then in the converter 2, when it acts as an inverter, we will have current in the negative direction but voltage in positive. In the rectifier, third quadrant, and inverter again the fourth quadrant. So we will discuss all these in details, and then only we will understand why it is called as rectifier or inverter. So whenever we are getting only positive, it is rectification. Whenever we are getting only negative, it is inverter. And when we are getting one of the parameter as positive, another parameter as negative, then it is called as a inverter. Now the rectifier can be described by their pulse numbers. This is the number of discrete switching operations involving a load transfer between the individual diodes, thyristor, etc. during the one cycle of the AC waveform. The pulse number is therefore directly related with the repetition period of the DC voltage waveform, and it is sometimes expressed in terms of a ripple frequency of this waveform. For example, a 6 pulse converter operating from a 50 Hz supply produces a 300 Hz, means the ripple frequency is 6 into 50 in the output DC voltage waveform. The converter type depends on the power to be handled and how much voltage ripple will be tolerated. For low powers, that is below 20 kilowatt, single phase circuits are sufficient. But if you require high power, means more than 20 kilowatts, we generally use a three phase circuit. Control techniques. Now in this figure, it shows a half-wave controlled converter using a unidirectional switch. Unidirectional switch means a switch which operates either in positive direction, either in the negative direction. Let us have a look on the circuit. So E indicates the input AC supply, LS indicates the series inductor, and here the R indicates the load where we will obtain the output DC. So when this switch as is turned on, it conducts, and the current conducts in the direction of the arrow. The output voltage waveform depends on the switch control waveforms and the pulse triggered switch such as SCR, GTO, MCT, or level triggered switches such as BJT, MOSFETs, and IGBT. Current pulses are required for triggering the SCRs and GTOs, whereas voltage pulses are required for MCTs, MOSFETs, and IGBTs. Why it is so? Current pulses for current control devices and voltage pulses for voltage control devices. Usually the source has an inductance such as AC line inductance or leakage inductance of the transformer. So why the transformer is coming into the picture? Because whatever input we are giving, we are not giving is directly to the SCRs. We require a step up, step down transformer. Okay, so what is the function of a transformer? The transformer step ups the input voltage or it steps down the input voltage. And as it is a power electronics, although we are having high voltages, but we need transformer for rectification. If it is a full wave rectifier, it is a half wave rectifier, then we require transformers. So it has some inductances because we are using a coil. For analysis purpose, let us neglect the inductances. Now consider phase angle control, or we can say the firing angle control. Now in this waveform, if you observe, in the AC circuits, the SCRs can be turned on by the gate at any angle with respect to the applied voltage. So this is a supply voltage, okay? This is input supply voltage. This is positive in nature. Positive, positive, negative. And we have the DC output. So this is output. Okay. Now the point is, the moment we apply the gate pulse, we get the output. So here we can see that we are applying the control voltage, means the pulses are applied after some firing angle alpha. And here the del represents the width of the pulse. And as soon as the pulse is applied, within a time duration of few microseconds, we will obtain the output. This firing angle is measured with respect to the given reference at which the firing pulses are applied. Firing pulses means this gate pulses. Gate pulses. Okay. Firing pulses are applied to the thyristor gate. The reference point is the point at which the application of gate pulses results in the maximum mean positive DC terminal voltage of which the converter is capable. In other words, we can say that if a firing angle is of 0 degree, then it corresponds to the condition when each thyristor in the circuit is fired. At the instant its anode voltage first becomes positive in each cycle. Under this condition, therefore, the converter operates in exactly the same manner as if in an uncontrolled rectifier. What does it mean? It means that as soon as we apply input voltage, we will obtain the DC voltage in the positive half cycles only, without any alpha. So in uncontrolled rectifiers, we don't have alpha. We cannot fire or trigger the diodes. Uncontrolled rectifier uses diodes. Controlled rectifiers uses SCRs. So as soon as we apply the voltage at which the diode gets forward bias, we get the output. The alpha is a symbol of firing angle. The number of degrees from the beginning of the cycle when the SCR is switched on is the firing angle. So what is the firing angle? The number of degrees from the beginning of the cycle when the SCR is switched on. Any SCR would start conducting at a particular point on the AC source voltage. The particular point is defined as the firing angle. The point where the SCR conducts and it is on, it is called as firing angle. And the most efficient method to control the turning on of a thyristor or SCR is achieved by varying the firing angle of the thyristor. Such a method of control is called as phase angle control. Phase angle control means we are controlling the firing angle. And how we will convert? By applying the control voltage at the gate terminal of particular time interval. This phase angle control is a highly efficient means of controlling the average power to loads such as lamps, heaters, motors, DC supplies, etc. Those converters which work on the principle of natural commutation are called as line commutated converters. Natural commutation means it does not require any additional components to commute the SCR. Commutation means turning off, if you remember. Now in this figure, it shows the various waveforms obtained using a phase phase angle control for half wave control converter circuit. So in a pulse triggered switch, the falling edge of a control pulse Vc lies at an angle alpha plus del as shown in the figure C, where del is the short angle. It is the width of the pulse on time period of the pulse. The del represents the on time period of a pulse. Once the switch is turned on, it remains on even if the triggering pulse has subsidized. It can be turned off only when the current through it is reduced below the holding current. How SCR will turn off? The SCR will turn off or it will commute when the forward current is less than the holding current. And what is the meaning of holding current? Holding current means the minimum current required to keep SCR in on condition. And if the minimum current falls below the value of holding current, obviously the SCR will turn off. In a level triggered switch, the falling edge lies at an angle P, that is pi, as shown in figure D. So this P means this pi. Extinction angle control. This figure shows the output voltage waveform and the control pulses for the level triggered and the pulse triggered switches. The rising edge of the control pulse coincides with the beginning of the input voltage waveforms. The rising edge coincides with the control pulses. The falling edge lies at the controllable angle pi minus beta. So what is pi? It is a complete cycle, positive half cycle from 0 to pi. And only this angle we are controlling. If we are controlling this angle, means we are controlling the firing angle. And what is the meaning of beta? Beta means the time period when we will not get any output. The beta is called as the extinction angle, means we will not get any output. In a pulse triggered switch, the control pulse consists of two short pulses. Okay, so in a pulse triggered switch, the control pulse consists of two short pulses, one for turning on and the other for forced turning off. Why we are calling a forced turning off? Because once the SCR is on, it cannot turn off by itself. We have to forcefully turn it off. Third technique is pulse width control. It is also called as PWM or pulse width modulation control. Pulse width modulation means we will vary the pulse width. We will vary the pulse width. This pulse width we will vary. Okay. The output voltage, waveform and control pulses are shown in this circuit. Sorry, in this waveform. As shown in this figure, the control pulse is symmetrically positioned with respect to the positive and negative peaks of the input voltage waveforms. Means what? We can see that the position, this position is very much aligned, when it will turn off, when it will turn on, all are aligned. Alignment. Okay. The pulse width del is called as the control parameter. Why it is called as the control parameter del? Because at this time it is the extinction angle and we have to and we will control this itself. Like extinction angle control, the control pulse consists of two short pulses in case of pulse triggered switch. In multiple pulse width modulation control, the control's signal consists of p pulses per half period of the input voltage waveform. Both this pulse width, both the pulse width del and the number of pulses p can be used as a control parameters. The two widely used methods are uniform multiple PWM and sine PWM. This type of control is suitable for level triggered switches. So this is